Chapter 5 Say hour they come till a tither side o a lochen, inte a lawn o a Gerasines. An fanny got out over a bote, a chill, in a grip o a feel spirit, come till him, fout a mo a gravesteins, far he'd been hiding. Nobody could hold him down, nae even fun he was bone up with chains. Guy and often, they'd bone him up with rapes and chains, but ilka time a rapes were riven apart, and he cawed the chains to smithereens. Nobody could quieten him. Say ilka day, and all nicht, he was i' the hills, or amo the gravesteins, howling out to him, and cutting himself with sharp steins. But when he saw Jesus hine awa, he come rinning over to him, threw himself afore him, and howling out to him, says, "Fit are you second with me, Jesus, son o' Hekist Almighty? Dinna torment me, men, for God's sake." You see, Jesus didna hine a minute to say to him, "Get out of there, you foul spirit, and leave a chiel alone." Jesus spirit at him, "Fa are ye, onyway?" "I'm legion," he says, "'cause there's money o' is." And he prigged wi' Jesus, nae to send them awa' fae a place. Now, bechance, there was a herd of piggies feeding on a side o' a brae, and a few spirits prigged wi' him, to send them amo' piggies, and into them. And straight awa' he told them, aught was fit they could do, and the few spirits come out o' a chiel, and gaed awa' into the piggies. And the hale herd o' about 12,000 head come careering down the hill and into the water, and all were drowned. Emmanis that were looking after them took flight and carried the news till a town on the hale countryside, and a throng of folk come out to see if it was a day. And they come to far Jesus was, and saw a chiel that had been in the hands o' a legion o' devils, sitting there wi' all his claes on, and nae longer gocket. And they were gey feared. And the folk that had seen fu it come about, tell't the throng fu a feel money had been cured o' his ill, and fit to upcome wi' a piggies. And they told him he had better get out o' there altogether. And as he was climbing back till a bote, a money that had been in the hands o' a deal, prigged to come wi' him. But Jesus wasna haeing it. "Na," he says. "Awa you go, hame to your ain folk, and tell them fit great things a maester has done for you." Say awa gaed a chiel, and tell't a'body, i' the 10 towns, all of it Jesus had done till him, and a'body was fair dumbfounded. And when he crossed over wi' his boatie till a tither shore, a muckle crowd ance mair gathered round about him at the waterside. Wi' that, ane o' the elders fae a local meeting hall come up till him. YERSEL he was called, and as soon as he saw him, flung himself down at the feet o' Jesus and prigged wi' him. "My wee queenies at the moo o' death," he says. "I would do onything for ye to come. Put your hand on her and mak her hale." Say awa gangs Jesus wi' a billy, wi' a great trail of folk thronging ahind him. Amo them was a woman that had been pained wi' bleeding for 12 torment. She had spent all her siller on doctors, but none of them had been able to mock her all better. On the contrary, if anything, she was a worse o' it. She'd been hearing all about Jesus. Say she come up behind him, rocked out her hand, and touched the fit o' his goon, saying to herself, "Gin I could but touch his clothes, I'd be made hale." And straight the wa her bleeding was stopped, and she kent in herself her troubles were o'er. Just as it happened, Jesus felt the poor gang out o' him, and says, "Fa dar meddle wi ma. Ye see a throng round about ye, and ye speir, fa dar meddle wi ye?" says his devout followers. He was looking all round about to see fa it had been, at rocked out till him. But the woman, shocking with dread, when she saw at she kent fit had happened till her, flung herself down afore him, and telled him a why o' it. And he says to her, "My lass, your faith has made you hale. Go on in peace, wi' your troubles hie out o' you." As he spake, an Aaron come via heek heed in's house, saying at the quine was dead, and nae to trouble a meester wi' it ony mair. But when Jesus heard this, he says to the elder, "Never fear, just hae faith." And he gaed wi' just Steenie, James, and James' brother, Jock, to the elder's house. For there was a great skirmish, all howling and greeting. And he gangs and says to them, "Fits all is skirmish and greeting about. Equine's nae dead, but just sleeping." But they all look at him. Pitting them all out o' a house, he took Equine's mither and father, and his ain cronies, ben till a room where Equine was lying down. Syne, talking a hod o' her hand, he says to her, "Talitha cum." Up you get, my quine. And straight the wall, Equine rees up and walketh about. She was 12 year old, and they were all dumbfoundered. And he told them well nae to speak ois to a sentient being, and to gie her something to eat. Chapter 6. For there he gaed awa hame till his ain town, and his devout followers gaed wi' him. When a Sabbath come round, he started up to preach in the meeting hall, and a muckle congregation for hearkened till him were 13 wi' him. "Where does he get it fae?" they speirt. "Fitting a kind o' lair is this, he is. Who does he work sic miracles? Is this nae a joiner, Mary's loon, brother to Yum, Yo, Judah, and Simon? And is this nae his sisters here tee?" "Och, aye," they says, "I kent his father." And says Jesus to them, "A prophet will aye be thocht muckle o', except in his ain toon, and amo his ain folk. He couldna do muckle there, but rocks out till a few folk that were nae weel, and mock them all better. And he was 13 aback by their own likeness to Almighty. He gaed awa round about the farm tunes, learning them fit they could. He cried a 12 till him, and sent them out, 12 by 12. Spread a guid word. He told them to talk naething wi' them, but the staff, nae loaf, nae pock, ne siller, iller Parsi. They myth weeder sonnels on their fit, but ne talk mer nor e kote. And he says till them, Van your lotten in till a hoose, bide there as long as you're in the tune. On far they winna talk ye in, nor hearken to fit ye hiv to say. Shock us do for your fate, as ye haud a wall as a warning till them. Say a wall they all gaed and preach it, at folk should hiv a change in thoughts and finnins, to their ill deans. 'Cause I tell ye is, it will be war for sick a tune, i' the day of judgment, nor it whiz for Sodom and Gomorrah. They drave out mony deals, and poured oil o'er the heads of folks, for warna wheel, and made them all bitter. Now, word is got to King Herod, 'cause allbody was speaking about the works of Jesus, and he says, York, a mercer, rees up fair deed, and that's fu all his muckle poors are found in him. Other folk were saying, it's a liar, and others, he's a prophet like a prophets all. But Herod, when he heard speak o' this, says, this is a York, a chill, was he'd cut it off. Reesed up fair deed. It was the same Herod, for he'd arrested York, and flung him in a jail. All o'er the heads o' his brother Philip's wife, for he'd married. You see, York had telled Herod, that it wasna richt to hae married his ain brother's wife. Herodias took fault wi' him speaking sic things, and would hae deen a war wi' him, but she couldna, 'cause Herod was feared at York, 'cause he kent he was a guid and pure chiel. So he keepit him in the jail. He would hearken to fit he was saying, and he'd a liking for a chiel. On the day o' his birthday, Herod had a grand party for all his ministers and officials, and all the masters o' Galilee. In come Herodias quine, and did a bit o' dancey for them all. And Herod, and the billies wi' him, were fair teen weir. Says he till her, seek 'em whatever you will, and I'll let ye hae it. And he swore to her, at whatever she spirit for, up to as muckle as half o' all his gear he would gie to her. She gaed out and spirit at her mither, fittle a seek fam. A heed o' York a mercer, she says. A quine ran back until a king, and sought for him a heed o' York a mercer, set on an oshet. A king was fair teen aback, but he had gien his word till a quine, and he couldna gang back on it afore all the billies at his party. Say a king sent awa a soldier, and gart him fest back York's heed. Awa gangs a soldier, and chops off the head i' the jail, fesses it on a oshet, and gies it till a quine. And she gies it till her mither. And van York's devout followers got to hear o' it. They come and fetch out his body, and buried it. The Aaron sins nu come back to Jesus, and telled him fit they had been doing, and teaching. He says till them, come awa wi' me, just be your lane, till a quiet placey, and lie down for a while. They hid a minute till themselves, nae even to hae their supper. Sae mony folk had been in aboot till them. Sae they sailed awa in a boat to a quiet place. But the hantle of folk saw them gang awa unkent far they were. A folk gaed fleeing on ahead of them, out to all a tunes, on one till a quiet place afore them. When he come out o'er a boat, Jesus saw a throng of folk. On his hearty gaed out till them, 'cause they were like ewes, without a shepherd. And he spoke to them o' mony things. As the day was wearing on, his devout followers says to him, "This is a barren kind of place. A day's wearing on. Send the folk awa to farms, on the tunes round about, to buy some meat for their supper, 'cause they have naething to eat. Gie them all something to eat yourselves," he says. "Will we gang and spend £200 on meat for them to eat?" They spirit. "Fu mony loaves have ye gotten? Go on and see," he says. They found out fu mony until them there was 5 and 12 fishes. He bade them gar all a folk sit down in borokies on a green girse. They all sat down in rows of hunters, on rows of 50s. Syne talking hard of 5 loaves and 12 fishes. He looked up to heaven, spoke a blessing, and broke the loaves and gied them till a devout followers to hand out amo a crowd. And he hovered the 12 fishes tea, and allbody ate their full. And they gathered up 12 baskets o' leavings, after allbody was deen eaten. There was about 5,000 folk eating a loaf. And when it was all over, he bade his devout followers climb into a boat, and sail awa over to Bethsaida, afore he got there. And he bade a hind, and sent all folk awa hame. At eens they were all awa, he gaed up a brae to pray. It was wearing on for a nicht, and the boat was weel ower a water. And he was still on a dry lawn all his lean. At some wee hour atween 3 and 6 i' the morning, he saw them haeing a sair fecht rowing a boat, until a heed win. And he come till them walking on a head o' a water. He gae near gaed by them, but they saw him, and thought it could be naething but the ghaist, and they cried out to them. They all saw him and were terrified. All at eens he spoke to them. "Cheer up, it's just me. Dinna be feared." Syne he climbed into a boat, on a wind deep doon, and they were dumbfounded at this. They hadna understood a product o' loaves. It was all our muckle for them. When he crossed over, they landed in Gennesaret, and hauled the boat out o' the water. As soon as he come out o' the boat, a folk were jaloused for he was, and flew round the hale countryside, fessing nae wheel folk on streeters, to wherever he might be. And wherever he gaed, cotter houses, firmin tunes, farm tunes, clockens, tunes, they set out the nae wheel folk on the road, and prigged wi' him to let them do nae mair nor touch a fit o' his goon. And nobody what touched him come all better. Chapter 7. A few Pharisees and lawyers fra Jerusalem met in William and saw that his devout followers were eating their meat with feeble hands, 'cause they hadna washing them a why a law says. 'Cause the Pharisees and the Jews never ate their meat without washing their hands, in a why they'd been learnt by their all folk. And when they come home fra merit, they never ate anything without washing aforehand. And there's a handful other laws that they maun hold to, such as washing cups, jugs, and copper bowls. Say the Pharisees and the lawyers spirit at Jesus. But why are your devout followers nae upholding all laws, but that their meat with feeble hands? And Jesus says to them, Aye, all Isaiah was writ about ye lads, when he prophesied. His folk have a muckle say awa about me, but they dinna hae me in their hearts. They're full of themselves when they worship me, 'cause they follow their own laws and nae mine. Ye forget all about Almighty's word, and have mair ado with your own laws. And he says to them, Ye're rail fast in casting aside Almighty's laws and setting up your own traditions. Moses taught ya, honor your father and your mither, and a child that sweeters at his father or mither will need to be deen awawi. But ye had at gin a child says to his father or mither, Onything o' mine that myth hae been, or ease till ya, is Corban. Oughts to say belonging to Almighty. He can do nae mair for his father nor mither. Say by your own laws, han it doon amo ya. Ye cancel out Almighty's laws. And mony other things at ye do are a vera same. Jesus sought the crowd to come in about, and he says to them, Hearken to fit I'm saying to you, and understand this, Nathan that gangs into a body, fra outside can never make it feel. On the contrary, it's the things that come out of a body that makes it feel. Gin ye have lugs on ye, hearken to us. Eens he'd gain into a house, and left the crowd behind outside. His devout followers spirit at him about the parable. He told them, Are ye as feeble as a lave? Can ye nae see through at naething that gangs into a body fra outside can ever make them feel? 'Cause it doesna gang into their heart, but into their stomach, and out through a hinder een? Is was his way of telling them at all meat was fit to be eaten without washing. He gaed on, It's fit comes out of a body at makes them feel. 'Cause for the intimers, out of a body's heart comes ill thoughts, non-marital sexual intercourse, thieving, murder, greed, and coarseness, snipe, things that are nae decent, jealousy, ill win, prudeness, and daftness. All sick ill things come fra intimers and make a body feel. After that, he gaed awa to Tyre and Sidon. He found a housie to bide in, and would fain hae liked it gin naebody had kent he was there. But there was nae way it could happen. As soon as he got settled, a woman fast quine with a grip of feeble spirit, heard he was there, and come and diced herself down at his feet. She come fae Phoenicia in Syria. She priget William to cast out the foul spirit fair Quiney. He says to her, lot the bairnies hae their supper first. It's nae most to talk a bairnie's supper on cosset to toiks. Aye, maester, she says, even the toiks, and net the broad, at the bairnie's orals. Syne he says to her, haein said aught, a while you go hame contented, a foul spirits fleen out o' your doctor. And when she won him, she found a bairnie lying in her bed, and the foul spirit was nae way to be seen. On his way hame fae Tyre, he gaed through Sidon, and on till a sea of Galilee, through amidst o' 10 tunes. They brought the chiel fa was deaf, and hid a mont till him, and they prigged William to put his hand upo him. He took a chiel awa fae throng, pat his fingers into his lugs, spat, and handled the chiel's tongue. Syne, looking up into heaven, he gied a saw, and says to him, Ephphatha, open up. Wiat his lugs was opened, and his mouth was nae mair, and they spak richt bonny. Jesus bade them nae to tell naebody about this, but the mair he bade them be quiet about it, and mair they broadcast it. They were all dumbfounded. All then he dis richt weel, they said. He can even make a deaf hear on a dumb speck. Chapter 8. A day a muckle crowd gathered, but they had naething to eat. So Jesus cries on his devout followers, and says, I'm rail sair commot for all his folkies here. They've all been here weema for a hale 3 days, and have had naething to eat. Gin I send them awa, wi' team stomachs, they mit talk a dwam on a way, 'cause a huntle of them have come a long road wi' few tunes. A devout follower's spirit, far are ye gone to get the nook meat to all his folk, out here i' the rock country? Fu mony loaves have ye gotten, he spirit? And they says, 7. Say he bade a folk all sit down on a groon, and he broke 7 loaves, and after pitting up a prayer to Almighty, gied a bits to his devout followers, to hand out to all a crowd. And they hid a few wee fishes. Say he blessed them, and bade the devout followers hand them roon tea. Say they all ate their full, and 7 creels were filled wi' a leavings. There would have been about 4,000 folk there. Syne he sent them awa, and climbed in our boaty wi' his devout followers, and gaed awa to Dalmanutha. Syne the Pharisees come out and hid a news wi' him. They tried to set a snare, to talk him in, and spirit at him, to gie them a sign for heaven. He gied a muckle saw to himself, and spirit at them. But why div you lads, I seek out a sign? Let me tell you, there'll be nae signs for a likes o' you. Wiat, he left them stonning, got in our boaty, and sailed our to t'other side o' a loch. Now they hadn't a mind to talk enough loaf wi' them, and they had just een in the boaty, and he warned them, talk tent, Keep your een peeled for a yeast or Pharisees, on a yeast or Herod. They thought to themselves, he's just saying this 'cause we have nae loaf. Kennin fit was in our noddle. He spirit at them. Fits all spec about nae hain ony loaf. Div ya nae hae ony inkling? Div ya still nae see through fit I'm saying? Are your hearts like steen? You've all got een. Can ya nae see with them? You've all got lugs. Can ya nae hear with them? Have you forgotten? Fin I brook 5 loaves, amo 5,000. Fu mony creels o leavings did ye gather? 12, they says. And fin I brook 7 loaves, amo 4,000. Fu mony creels took ye up? Spirit Jesus. 7, they says. And ye still dinna see through it, he says. They come to Bethsaida. The folk there brought the blind money to Jesus and prigged wi him, to rocks out his hand till him. He took hold o' a blind money's hand, and led him out to a tune. He spat on the money's een, laid his hand on him, and spirit at him fit he could see. And money looked up and says, I see monies like trees, all walking about. Jesus put his hands on a money's eens mare, bade him look up, and afore ye kent it, his sight had come back. Jesus had him gone awa hame, but telled him to nae say a word to naebody, i' the tune about fit he'd deen. Jesus and his devout followers set out for a tune of Caesarea Philippi, and on the road there he spirit at his devout followers. Fa folk said he was. They telled him, if you say, Yok a mercer, others a lawyer, others eno a prophets. And fa div he say he spirit. Steenie says till him, Yer a neetateen. Sign he bade them nae till ony sentient being about him. And he learnt them at the Son of Man hid to pit up wi muckle suffering, hid to be rejected by a government, a priest and the lawyers, hid to be deen awa wi, and hid to rise up fair deed after 3 days. And a spark o' it, say literally, Steenie took a hold o' him, and was guide raced wi him. But Jesus turned round, looked at his devout followers, and gied Steenie a ragging. Get out o' here, ye deil, he says to Steenie. Ye think ye thoughts a folk, and nae a thoughts almighty. Sign Jesus cried to the crowd, and to his devout followers, to come in about to him, and says to them, anybody fa wins to follow after ma, maun leave himself ahind, talk up his stake, and come awa wi ma. Them fa went to save their ain lives will just lost them, but the chiel fa losses his life for me, and for a guid word will besolve it. Fit na guid is there in hain a hale warl, gin ye los your sentient being. Fit will ye be left wi, to buy back at sentient being. Forever is ashamed of me, and fit to stand for in this course michteless times, will find out the Son of Man will be affronted to him, Funny chops at the door o' a judgment seat.